Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Panzer Strategy, where I'm back with a new mission. We're at the gates of Moscow this time, and after getting a victory at Leningrad, which we can also see on the map here, we also apparently took quite a bit of these northern territories. That's a bit unrealistic, but oh well. Yeah, we also got the Russia lost Leningrad global effect, so that's really nice. Yeah, let's take a look at our troops now. Before we start here, I get 7 command points per turn. I think that what I can do is I can get one more unit. I don't think I've gotten a free unit during the previous mission. Oh, I do get another KV here. That's interesting, but I think maybe I'd rather upgrade one of my tanks, really, because I think that let's see, because if I upgrade this guy, for example, I will get back prestige and I won't actually have an increased unit count, and that might actually be a lot better. So they will get one less soft attack and more hard attack, more ground defense, more air defense, and they will gain the heavy armor ability. And it cost me only 14 prestige. I'd rather spend my tank on that instead of the of buying another one of those units. I actually don't really want it, and it kind of seems like I now have this for free then. I don't know. I'm not 100% all the mechanics of this game, but either way, let's upgrade some of our units. Definitely getting them up to elites with the HQ experience that we have. And I definitely want to do that for all the units that still haven't done that. So these guys will definitely get a 2 stars. I'm also keen to upgrade any units, or to level up any units that we can right now. If we take a look here, yeah, shock tactics is really pretty much the only thing that I want for these guys anymore. As for the 88s, I will go for both multiple support and +1 radius for air targets first, and before I do anything else. And let's upgrade these to 12 here. I should be... Yeah, let's just get a quick run through of all these units here. So you guys, I think I already got aggressive maneuver. You know, ground taker is not that bad. What did I do for the other tanks? I did ground taker mostly. Skill attack is not that bad either, so I guess I could do that. Let's see which units aren't over strength to the maximum. Because I will be spending my prestige on that, obviously. There we are. These are all at level 2. These are fine. You're at 15. There we are. So they are at the maximum. It's funny that they say this because they're already at maximum level, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a bit strange. I actually got a new hero. One thing that's, I guess it's a bug. We have a second Hans Ulrich Rudel, but we cannot assign it. So yeah, this hero is already serving another unit, and then this one, it can't, or maybe it can be deployed. So we have this guy. Well, let's just let's try it, I suppose. This time I'm gonna go for Junkers. We'll see whether that works. No, I actually can't assign the second one. So you can only have one installation of a hero. I do have another hero here, and that's Michael Wittmann. which probably has to be assigned to a tank. Yeah, It does. Let's just see what these things do. Camouflage experts gives +2 camouflage. We already know what auto attack. Oh wait, automatically attack any unit that enters the firing zone, provided units has not been found. Does damage before the target returns fire. Could I put this in an artillery? No, that would have been too good. Probably a bit too good indeed. All right, let's can he go into the command unit? No, he can't either. So he has to go into a regular tank. Okay. I'm inclined to put him in a KV for now and just give him the Does dash where a target returns fire. Is that better than double attack? No, I think double attack is still better. Yes. Alright. So I can re-level him up. And I completely forgot about that. So definitely going for 2 times attack here. And still aggressive maneuver. Because I still think that's better than something like auto attack. Because we really do need those movement points. But the next one are definitely going to be auto attack, first strike, and probably scouting as well. Because scouting is also really good. But yeah, I'll be putting that hero to good use. That's very nice. Next up is going to be the AT gun. Because I really don't like this thing. And now that I do have prestige to spare, I will upgrade this one to a Stug, and I think this will be a lot more beneficial to me, this one. I have to reinvest in my over strength, but that's okay. I think this one works a lot better. I don't know, I just didn't feel it that much with the other AT gun, and this unit can actually take down units inside the city. Pretty reasonable. So yeah, I'm much better off with those guys. So now that I've upgraded all my units, I leveled them up as well. I think getting 7 command points per turn is good enough. I'd rather have 7 command points and just be able to spread those points all over my over the map than have 1 additional unit. Although getting 6 command points is also not too bad. I'll be able to buy another artillery. Because currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bombers, 5 fighters, 3 infantry. I could ramp that up to 4. Because I already have 6 artillery, which is quite a lot. 1 AT gun only, but that's okay. I have enough tanks. So I should probably go for the 4th infantry, to be honest. Yeah, I think that would be pretty good. I can still buy a Panzer WWII. Let's go for infantry, and again, I'm definitely gonna go for pioneers. And I'll level them up. What do these guys have? Terrain expert and ground taker. But they really shine in the equipment department. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm gonna give these guys the 120mm. If this unit does not have land vehicles, it loses the ability to move, but it will get land vehicles. And so it should still just be able to move. I wonder if it becomes stationary, so I kind of want to try this out. It blocks abilities, parachutists, air mobile, and marines, but that's not really that big of an issue. So we'll see how that effectively works. Besides that, I do have some other free stuff here. But it does have land vehicles, so it doesn't impede movement. And usually I would want to give it either flamethrower or potentially sappers. I think for this mission I really don't want the flamethrowers, so I'm gonna switch it up for sappers here. And that will cost me a little bit, but only 5 per swap. Let's make these guys sappers too. The thing with sappers that it makes the pioneers really good with clearing out mines. And there will be a lot of mines in the next mission. There will also be a lot of bunkers, but I don't want to take them down with infantry anyway, because the infantry also will take a lot of damage. And that's just no good. I am probably best off also just switching these vicars for these. And I actually really only want to have the mortars. Only want to have mortars on infantry, and the reason for that is the mortars I can only stick on infantry, whereas the vicars can also go on things like tanks and such, which I probably have installed already on most of my tanks, but even so, we already have a free slot there. And see if incendiary, additional, and intelligence. I guess for you it will be intelligence as well. The +1, +2 initiative is what I'm really going after here, because it means my artillery is better at striking enemy artillery, because they will generally fire first. Alright, let's take a look, because some of these can still benefit from something like radar, even though that's not like the very most useful on these guys. Drop tanks, eh? Yeah, I think for those that's actually good. I kind of want to have drop tanks on that. So most of these have drop tanks and radar. I am inclined to think that's good, yeah. Alright, so we've taken care of all the equipment for the next mission, the heroes, the upgrades, because there's really no other upgrade that we can do. Bought another unit, and that leaves me pretty much with everything done for the upcoming mission. As for the HQ experience, once I get enough experience, I might go for tank onslaught, but I have 66 to spare right now, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm giving priority to upgrading my units at the moment, definitely over that skill. Besides that, we have quite a few prestige points to spare as well for now. That's nice. If there will be some future upgrades that we need to do that are very costly, we're ready for it. And then we also have 13 command points. Let's see what all the generals have to say about the upcoming mission.
The loss of Leningrad, with its population of 3 million people, did not have the best effect on the morale of the USSR population. The Red Army began to experience difficulties with the mobilization of citizens. To form the required number of divisions, the Soviet command was forced to reduce their size. Apparently, the Führer was right about prioritizing political agenda over the military ones.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think so here, but because we won, I guess that's how it looks like.
There are only at maximum several weeks left for our tank forces to strike effectively. As soon as heavy rains begin, you can forget about maneuverable warfare.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I must say, Russians have fortified their capital greatly. No wonder we gave them enough time to do this. Alright, let's start up the next mission, which is Operation Typhoon, in order to capture Moscow itself and the Soviet capital.
Given the importance of the imminent events, especially the state of communications and the poor material support of the army, I command that Moscow shall be taken over at any cost in the nearest future point.
Based on our reconnaissance, the Russians have turned their capital into a fortress. Defense lines outside of the city, strongholds and firing points in urban buildings are established, and all streets are blocked with barricades and anti-tank obstacles.
And what did you expect? A triumphal procession like in Paris? Forget it. We entered the lair of savages, and you must expect brutal resistance. But when we take the city, the agony of the Bolsheviks will not be long. Follow the order.
Wow, their agony will not be long. That's rough. That's really rough. Well, let's just say what the briefing has to say here.
General Staff to the Commander of the operation. According to the plan of Operation Typhoon, it is necessary to break through enemy defensive lines with a powerful attack from the forces of the Army Group Center to defeat the troops that cover Moscow and seize the Soviet capital. At the same time, our troops must occupy these key strategic points: suburbs of Moscow Podolsk, Klim, Krasnaya Polyana, in Moscow the Leningrad Railroad Station, Kiev Railroad Station, supply depot of the Moscow garrison, and finally, Kremlin. The way to Moscow is protected by the Rzev, Vyazma, and Mozhaisk lines of defense. Short-range access to the city is well fortified. In previous battles, the Red Army lost most of the troops and almost all armored vehicles. Nevertheless, it managed to collect a significant grouping for the defense of Moscow. Its task is to hold until the winter's cold, when the offensive capabilities of Wehrmacht will decline. Due to the fact that Japan did not dare to start a war against the USSR, the Russians were able to liberate their forces on the eastern pass. Our intelligence reports that the Soviet command plans to begin the transfer of Siberian divisions to Moscow. Therefore, we have very limited time for the storming of the enemy capital. Not a day should be lost. Begin the operation. Generalstabschef des Heeres, Generaloberst Franz Halder.
Yes, and not all victory hexes are in Moscow itself, so they didn't actually show all the victory hexes. That is a bit strange. We have this railroad station all the way up here in the city of Teikovo. So we actually do need to capture that, despite the fact that they didn't actually talk about that. Which is up here. Then we have Vladimir, which is slightly further to the south. Ryazan, which is again further down south. Ryazk. Mikhailovo out there as well. So pretty much all the objectives are on the eastern side of the map, but there's still quite a couple of important positions that we need to take, mostly due to logistical reasons. For example, down here we have the big depot at Kozelsk, and Kirov is then here. It would be good to take Kaluga with its small depot. This is just a big depot in the city. Capturing Chula would do us quite well too. Let's see, the Kremlin itself is not a depot, but then up north we have a big depot at Torzhok and at Kalinin. So we would benefit from going there, because moving forward from here, yes, we have a medium depot here and then also a big depot here. I think capturing both of them would benefit us quite a bit, because it will fortify our supply lines. Then from the center, that's actually the place where there is relatively little support, with only a small and a medium depot going through there before we get to a medium depot in Moscow. Down south, We would do well to capture the depot of the reserved front here in conjunction with the big depot at Kozelsk. Regardless, I will be splitting up my forces into 3 groups, a northern group, a center group, and a southern group. The southern group has, of course, the task to capture the depot of the reserved front. Well, that's pretty far out of its way, but I still think they would be the best to capture that. Of course, moving through Kozelsk, they will actually not go to Moscow, but instead move south, capture this place over here, just a big depot, and move on Chula, and then snag the southern victory hexes, pretty much up to Ryazan here. So they're tasked with not taking anything of Moscow, but with taking all the southern objectives and cities. Then the center group will pretty much move upon Vyazma, and they will then afterwards go towards Gdatsk and enter pretty much Moscow from the south. They will also be tasked with taking Podolsk, besides if the southern group cannot manage it. But they will go to Podolsk and then try to enter Moscow from the south, potentially moving further east with whatever troops possible. Then the northern group, that will have to be the biggest group, because they will have the most tasks set to them, because they will have to split up, take over these northern objectives, and also move towards the north of Moscow, and then enter the city from there. Either forces from the north and or center, but generally just the fastest units will have to go and capture these objectives all the way on the eastern part of the map. First of all, definitely deploying at the very least an anti-aircraft in each of these locations. And I'll be going with the 88s in the center, because they will be the least mobile, even though that doesn't say too much. Now, in the south, we already have a SIG. It's a weaker one, but it does mean that I am only going to be placing a 15 strength artillery besides in that direction. Then in the center, I'm definitely deploying another 15 strength artillery and one of my mobile artilleries. And then up in the north, I will be placing 3 artillery pieces. They'll be as far as possible to the front. Okay, that's... I think maybe whatever unit is placed here. Okay. There's definitely something wrong here. What about an infantry? Okay, they aren't going that far. Okay. What about this one? Okay, they don't swing that far, unfortunately. Yeah, so the last artillery will also be placed out here. Then let's deploy fighters at the very least. We have 5 in total. There will be 2 up north, and I will place 2 in the south as well, because these guys are just in general more agile and will be able to support the center. So I need less in the center because both the north and the south can help out there eventually. That actually does make me want to switch up now that I'm thinking about it. The kinds of flak, I actually want to put the 88s up north and the mobile one in the center. Then each area will have 2 bombers assigned to them. Yeah, let's deploy 2 of the 88s up in the center and then another 87D up in the north. Alright, as for infantry, I will have 2 infantry assigned to the north, or actually I will have, if I, let's take a quick peek, 2 infantry in the south, because they don't get any auxiliary infantry, whereas all the other groups already have an auxiliary infantry. That means I'll be placing 1 infantry in all the other parts. Definitely placing a recon up in the north. Actually place it quite far forward here. I already have a recon in both other areas. But this is one of the better recons, and this is one of the poor recons. So I'll be placing 1 more recon over in the center as well. Then we have a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 tanks. I will definitely be placing at least 1 heavier tank here. So definitely 3 tanks in the south where there's more open terrain. And then I will have 2 tanks in the center together with the AT gun. And in the north I will also have a total of 3 tanks. Yes, that is indeed how I will place my units. Okay, I'm pretty much set. Let's get started here. Let's start with the southern group. One of the things that's always handy to do is just move these for 1 hex first, and you immediately get some pretty detailed information. Now these guys are also sappers, so that's very nice. Get a bit more info. This is an enemy artillery. We don't know what's up there. Probably an infantry, and they have a bunch of tanks. So if I were to attack, they pretty much attack at the same time, and they will have anti-aircraft guns out there. So what I'm gonna do definitely is getting some aviation recon. And just checking out the area. And indeed, as expected, some anti-aircraft defenses, and we do have a pretty good vision of everything around here right now. Now that we know where their anti-aircraft defenses are, let's take a quick peek, because I actually don't know. Okay. Let's just move in here and bomb these guys. So, destroying that. And I can... they have another artillery, huh? In the back. I'm probably best off. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because if this is an anti-aircraft gun, which I don't know yet, I can't actually go and bomb there. In that case, it'll be pretty bad practice. Let's actually take another peek here with the aviation recon. Indeed. Double anti-aircraft gun, so I'm quite pleased about this now. What I should do is just try to clear these mines. And that went very well. Now I know that the road is clear and that I can actually go and attack there. Now, that would actually take some damage, unfortunately, most likely because of the other artillery, but there's very little I can do about that. How about you attacking? Yeah, that just doesn't work outright, unfortunately. So I will always be exposed to these guys. I can't make them lose all their ammunition, for sure. So that's a bit tricky. Let's use the, because this is the Panzer IIIH. It has 10 soft attack and you have 16 soft attack. This is a soft target. So I'm better off using the Panzer IVF here. And attacking. I mean, I know they'll counter, so. Yeah, that definitely wasn't unexpected. I can still attack another time though. Let's do it. So how about an attack on these guys now? 1, 2, okay, that wouldn't work out. Can still move ahead, finish off these, and then I can launch another assault on those guys further ahead. That's probably quite good. So I will definitely, yeah, let's even use incendiaries here. Finish off the infantry. And just out of reach. If I use Blitzkrieg, I might be able to get through. What is your movement at that point? It is a total of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be able to reach it if it weren't for that bunker. So getting rid of the bunker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, definitely possible. And they are able to reach it now. Due to the AT gun, which I can also shell. I mean, that AT gun is not particularly great here. Let's wait for a bit, because technically I might be able to use these and bomb them, which might be a decent idea. Yeah, let's actually do that. Because that will allow me to overrun Kirov in one go, and I really think that's a good idea here. So move in here. Okay, that didn't go entirely the way I planned, but it wasn't that bad. And you'll go out here. And then already reduce that tank. They can attack again. Excellent. So it's destroyed outright. Very nice. I do have these units, and to be honest, oh, it's an auxiliary, huh? I would not mind clearing those mines. Even on the next turn, I think that's still a good idea. For now, I can actually get rid of these because there's no bunker behind it. But they do have an infantry standing here. It's good to know. Glad to have spotted it. You have a range of 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you helping planes as well? They have a range of 3. 5. 4 actually. So moving them here does indeed cover all the ground targets at the very least, but I would rather move them up as much as possible. Doesn't seem to be that much or that many problematic units around here. Let's move here first. Go for that surrender so we get a good intelligence about what's going on. Definitely no counterattack coming from that region, and can move in here. Oh, nice. Got quite lucky there. Excellent. I'm still inclined, despite those guys being there, to finish off these mines this turn. Because that's just better for supply throughputs here. And I need these guys to patch through the supplies pretty much over to the next depot. This is only a small depot, but I need this to work, so I will move you in here. And they only have 2 ammo, so there's really no sense in firing already. Moving these guys here will allow me to attack that bunker on the next turn and potentially destroy it. And then I have these here fighters. You have multiple support. Okay, that's great. Let's cover for you and cover here. And that's the south. Yeah, this is gonna be a long mission. Yes, it is. Okay, the center. I do think these are sappers. Indeed they are, but I still need to do a good amount of detection. This is an AT gun.